Today we're diving into a fascinating children's book called Frederica the Fly, A Little Fly with a Big Heart, co-created by Allison Collins and David Charles Osborne. It's designed for kids ages 2 to 10, but honestly, there's a lot here for anyone interested in the intersection of science and faith.
Yeah, it's really interesting how the book uses Frederica, this bright blue fly with sparkling eyes and shimmering wings, as a way to share both real biological facts and deeper spiritual lessons. It's a clever blend of natural history and theological reflection.
Absolutely. One of the first things the book tackles is a common misconception that flies only live for a day. But in reality, many flies, including common houseflies, can live for about a month, depending on their environment.
Right, and that's a significant difference. It really changes how we think about their role in the ecosystem. Plus, the book highlights some fascinating adaptations, like Frederica's proboscis, a specialized feeding organ that works like a straw, letting her suck up liquid food efficiently.
And here's a detail that often surprises people. Flies can actually taste with their feet. They have chemoreceptors on their tarsi, which means when they land on something, they can detect sugars and other chemicals right away. It's a sophisticated sensory adaptation that helps them find food quickly.
That's wild, isn't it? And it ties into their ecological roles, which the book emphasizes. First, flies are crucial decomposers. They help break down dead plants, leaves, and food waste, returning nutrients to the soil. This process, decomposition, is essential for soil fertility and overall ecosystem health.
Exactly. And beyond decomposition, flies also contribute to pollination. While bees get most of the credit, flies are important pollinators too, especially in cooler or shaded environments where bees might be less active. It challenges the usual idea that flies are just pests.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that flies are integral to biodiversity. They're natural recyclers and pollinators, supporting plant reproduction and ecosystem balance. The book does a great job of showing that even creatures we often overlook have vital roles.
What I really appreciate is how the story personifies Frederica, giving her a voice and personality. It makes these complex ecological and spiritual ideas accessible to kids without talking down to them.
And the poetic framing of Frederica's life is powerful. She talks about being small and misunderstood, but still trying to leave the world more beautiful than she found it. That's a profound message about purpose and stewardship.
It really is. The theological dimension here is subtle but meaningful. Frederica's story suggests that every creature, no matter how small, has a divinely ordained purpose. It aligns with broader faith themes about creation and intrinsic value.
And then there's that question Frederica asks at the end. I leave the world more beautiful than I found it, but can you say the same? That's a moment that invites real reflection on our own impact.
Yeah, it's a challenge wrapped in a simple line. It encourages listeners to think about their responsibility toward the environment and society. It's not just about flies, it's about all of us.
This blending of scientific facts with spiritual and moral lessons is a great example of interdisciplinary education. It helps children and adults appreciate biodiversity and develop a respectful attitude toward all life forms, even those we might initially find unpleasant.
Right, and it also shows how storytelling can be a powerful tool in both science communication and faith education. By giving Frederica a relatable voice, the book makes abstract ideas tangible and emotionally resonant.
So, if we think about the bigger picture, this approach can inspire young listeners to see the interconnectedness of life and their own potential to contribute positively to the world.
Exactly. To sum up, flies like Frederica live longer and have more complex roles than most people realize. Their work in decomposition and pollination is vital. And through Frederica's story, we get a beautiful blend of science and faith that teaches purpose, stewardship, and respect for creation.
We hope this encourages everyone listening to reflect on their own purpose and impact, inspired by Frederica's example. And if you get a chance, reading Frederica the Fly with your kids or students is a wonderful way to explore these ideas together.
Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.